So after I shot my little tiny toiletry bag video and posted it, I received a ton of amazing comments, and they've inspired a whole list of other videos, and this is one of them. So one of the things that I had an issue with this bag, and a lot of people pointed it out, and it was an issue that I had all along, was my makeup area. I had this eyeshadow compact that was absolutely ridiculously humongous. People pointed it out. I already knew that, but I didn't know what to do about it because I didn't know that there was a solution to it because, I mean, it's broken for one, it was a piece of junk, but I use all these 3 colors when I put makeup on. And so I didn't know how to do it any other way. So another issue was also this powder brush was absolutely ridiculously huge. It was so big. I was like, I don't need this big, huge thing, but I couldn't find anything smaller. So those 2 pain points are what we're going to talk about in this video, as well as other methods to decrease the size of your makeup kit. I have created something, you are going to die. It's so amazing. It is a makeup kit that is going to possibly fit in this tiny, tiny thing, all my makeup, a slightly bigger one. I haven't decided yet because this is all, I'm doing this all on the spot. We don't know. We don't know how it's gonna work out because we're just doing it right now. So, but I have these tins, and it's either going to fit into something this big or this big. We're gonna see how it works, but it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna love it. So let's get going. Okay, so first of all, I want to address the fact that you're gonna see this little tiny camera in this shot, and I really apologize for that. However, I wanted to be able to have another camera that was recording the overview of this, and I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I'm just me, I'm just this person in this house. So I just did my best. And so maybe somebody else has a different solution. Maybe I can strap something from the ceiling next time. I don't know. That's what this is for, because you're going to see little videos that'll pop up. They'll show you what I'm actually doing on this, and you'll see me at the same time. So I wanted to have 2 different views. So anyway, just wanted to explain that. First of all, let's talk about eyeshadow. That's the very first thing that I want to do. And what some people suggested, I could actually take these eyeshadows and I could break them up and I could put them into smaller little trays, which I didn't even know existed. And then I could put a magnet on the bottom of them. And then I could put them in these metal little tins. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what? So I found this tin. This is the cutest thing in the whole world. This is from Trader Joe's, and it's a mint tin. I took all the mints out, and I'm going to eat those over time. Washed it out really good. And though if this will fit, this will be amazing. And then this one is also from Trader Joe's, and this one is just a slightly bigger. This one, I don't remember the sizes on here. I don't even know if it even said, but they're just slightly different in size, but we're just going to see what it's going to fit. So these trays are the eyeshadow trays that people were talking about, but I didn't even know what they were. So I got on Amazon and I just searched for them. I'm going to put all the links in the description below so you don't have to look for any of this stuff. But these are tiny little trays, they're makeup trays that you can take, like compressed makeup, and you can break it up and you can put it inside of here. I'm going to show you this process. And just so you know, I've cleaned this already with alcohol. I wiped everything down, so everything's clean. There is Amy from the future. I just wanted to point out that I'm cutting into this video right here to tell you that I actually, at this point, did stop the video and I thoroughly cleaned all of these little trays after I opened them, and then I used them. And I explained that later on, but I didn't actually show that process because I knew it was going to take too long. So I just stopped everything, washed everything, let it completely dry, and then I started the video again with them dry. Okay, these little trays are absolutely adorable. They come in way different sizes. I'm going to show it on this camera right here so you can see. You won't see it on the other camera. But this is tiny. This one's really small. Look at that one. Oh my goodness, these are so cute. I had no idea that this even existed. I'm having so much fun with these discoveries. I can't even tell you how much fun I'm having with these discoveries. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm just kind of trying to show here. I'm not sure how good this camera is even going to work because I feel like there's some weird shadows going on. We'll find out. We'll find out how it works. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I don't need very much makeup. Okay, let me just tell you something right now. This right here, this makeup thing, I have been taking with me on trips for years. And look how much I still have in there. So clearly, I didn't need this much stuff with me. I needed nothing hardly with me at all, and I would have been fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to bust up this stuff that's in here, and I'm going to put it in these little ones right here. The tiniest ones I have is where it's going to go into. And then, oh my goodness, I want to look at this first. Oh my gosh. I think this is actually going to work. These are the tiniest things I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that right there. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can even see that. I might have to take a picture and show better, but you can kind of see, I mean, the light's kind of glaring strangely off of this, but you can see how small those are in there. Look how tiny that is. That's all my eyeshadow versus that. What? That's ridiculous. So anyway, that's completely crazy. So I could have those 3 eyeshadows in here. I could potentially, if I wanted to, because someone actually requested this in the comments, to show what I would use even for like, special nights out and stuff if I wanted to do like some really dramatic night makeup. So I could actually grab some of my other shades that I never take with me because I don't have the space. I could put a couple other ones in there too and still have, now I don't use blush. I used to, but I stopped because I developed rosacea on my cheeks. And so it's not always there, but sometimes it shows up. And so I don't need to add any red to my face. I don't need to add any of that. So anyway, I will not be showing, we're just going to put a spacer in there for the blush. But I'm not going to actually do it because like I said, I don't use it. But let me just put in another spacer or 2 for, oh, that's, wait, no, that's the same size. For the night makeup. Let's put, I'm just trying to figure out the best system in here. Oh, these are so darling. It looks like the tiny, tiny ones, you can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. I could fit 5 little trays of eyeshadow. Now, if, like I said, if I wanted to have a small thing of blush, I could put that in there. Now, I did have the idea of taking lipstick and melting it and putting in a tray. The only problem I have with that is that lipstick obviously is very temperamental. And if this were to get hot at all, like say I was out walking around in the heat of a summer day or something and just out with my backpack and that were to heat up, that lipstick would melt all over everything in there, is what I'm imagining. Now, whether or not that's going to happen or could happen, I just don't think I would want to take the chance. So I don't want to put lipstick in an open tray. If I were to do lipstick, I mean, this is way too much, but I would do it in one of my little jars. So that's what I would do with lipstick. And I actually probably will do that with my lipstick because I like taking a lipstick with me, but it's too big. I don't need that much. So if I just took a tiny brush, I just took a little amount of it, what you could potentially do, if you could figure out a way to divide them in half, put some kind of a barrier, you could put one color of lipstick on one side and one on another. You could do that. So I just have to figure out what is that barrier going to be so that it separates the two. That's actually really cool. I like that idea a lot. And guess what? You're just experimenting with me as I'm going through. These are just ideas that are popping into my mind. Nothing of this is planned. So I kind of like that. I could have 2 different colors of lipstick. Those are really cool. I have to figure that out. I don't know. If I don't figure it out by the end of this video, I'll do a whole nother video on that. And maybe you guys can leave me some comments on what you think would work. So what I'm looking at here is I have this little jar. And right now that's lotion. But let's imagine it's empty and I'm going to put lipstick in here and I want to do 2 different colors. So what could I put in between? Like, would one of these little trays actually work? Would one of those separate them? It's not the right size. So that would not work. Plus it would be a shame to waste one of these trays. Something's got to work. Someone's got to have some brilliant idea. Start letting the juices flow and let me know in the comments if you can think of something that I could put in between that would act as a barrier, permanent barrier in between the 2 colors so that when I pour in melted lipstick onto each side and let them set up, it won't cross over. Does it even matter? Could I just put something there as a barrier and fill up one side, then take the barrier off? And then just pour the liquid on the other side and it'll just match up to the other one. Would that work? It's worth experimenting. Okay, kind of got a little bit off track, but let me know your thoughts about the lipstick because I'm very curious. I think that'd be really fun to have 2 tubes of lipstick and something this big. I think that'd be amazing. So, okay, now we are into, we've got possibilities. I'm going to show on this camera right here. We've got possibilities for 5 little trays of eyeshadow and 1 thing of blush. And what else could we put inside of here? How many of these little guys could we fit? 1. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I'm dying. This is so cute. Okay, we could put these, at least 1 of these in here. So let's say our lipstick we leave out. What was this? This was my powder. No, this was my foundation in my Okay, that's another thing I want to talk about. So this is my foundation cream, but you know, people also have foundation that's a liquid, and I bought some little containers for that. They're amazing. So I wonder if you could fit two, if you just rearranged how these are fitting. Probably not. You can only fit one. So I'd have to decide which one I wanted to put in if I wanted to do that. Alternatively, I don't take the foundation cream. I only take the powder. Actually, this is too much powder. So I have another idea. We could actually still make this work. Okay, we're putting this to the side. I want to potentially put these in here. So let's just say we've got all of our little guys in here. Now let's work on, I'm going to pick these up. Whoops. I'm going to put these back in their little container. And we are going to start out with putting our eyeshadows in these little ones. And then I'm going to go get my other ones that we can use for nighttime. So I could fit a total of 5 in there just along the one side. If I want to fill this whole thing up with eyeshadows, I could, but that's too much for me. I don't wear that much makeup. So we're going to put these to the side because we're going to do these later. But what we're going to do is we're going to do these right now. Let me make sure I'm still in focus on this. It's okay. It's fine. This probably won't even end up working. So anyway, let's look at this right here. So basically what you do is you're going to, I've got these little tiny trays right here on here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to crunch this up with just like this little clean chopstick. It's brand new. It's clean. I'm going to chop it up with this. Then I'm going to take it. Once it's all finely powdered, I'm going to transfer it into this little thing. And then I'm going to show you the next step. So let me just, it's very easy to smush this up. You just break it up. Yeah, it's very satisfying actually how easy it is to break this. Oh, wow. Okay. And I don't think it's all going to fit in there. Just break, break, break. Hopefully I haven't broken too much. Okay, let's see. We're going to take a spoon, one of my clean spoons, and we're going to just transfer that to this. This is really cool. Yeah, I actually I'm dying how much I thought I would use this whole thing. I'm not even using a fraction of it. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to press this down. So I broke that up, broke it up with this. I just smashed it all up. It was very easy to do, simple. Smashed it all up, got it all fine powder. Now I've transferred it to one of these tiny, tiny trays. It looks like I can probably fit a little bit more in there. There's still some on the cutting board I might be able to get up. And like I said, it's imperative that you use clean things to begin with. And all these things were clean. I even cleaned the little metal things in advance. So don't think that I'm just using those just out of the thing. I cleaned them up and let them dry and then put them back in a bag. So, okay, let's see if I can get a little bit more in there. Wow. Okay. Let's make sure we get it all the way to the top. This is so fun. This is so cool. Okay. Okay. So I've heard that all you have to do, there's 2 different ways. That you just press it in hard, but I don't know if it's all pressed in and I don't want it to just crumble all over the place. I mean, maybe if I took one of these other guys and I pushed it in, let's try that. Hey, that works. That works really nice. Wow, that's a really good idea. I like that idea. So I just took this one and I just pressed them together. I sandwiched them together, pressed it. It's a little sharp on my fingers, but I'm wondering, is that enough? The other thing that I've heard that you do is you take a little bit of oil, like a little bit of alcohol, and you spritz it on. For right now, I'm just gonna leave that here. Look how cute that is. It is perfect. It's this little tiny tray. I just took that enormous thing and I turned it into this. Yeah, I think that you might be able to see that. Look at how small that is. Isn't that amazing? Guys, I'm so happy with these suggestions. I want to tell you how much I've appreciated all the comments because I've learned so much through this and it's so fun. Hey there, it's Amy from the future. And as you can see, I'm editing the video right now. And I realize you don't need to see me pot all of the different colors. I mean, that's a waste of your time. So we're just moving on. And I'm going to immediately now start talking about the nighttime colors and those options, and then we'll go from there. A bunch of different makeup that I brought down to kind of show you options. I don't think I'm actually going to take any night makeup with me because I'm happy with this stuff. I'll think about it. I might still do it. I don't know. But these are some different colors that I have. See all these different fun colors? That would be a fun possibility. And then I have this one. These are basically brand new. So you see I don't wear a lot of these colors normally. But, you know, they are fun to have for like a special night out type stuff. And these are really fun. Like if I was going to a fun disco or something, that'd be fun. So, and I have used these. When I was, I think, was I Ariel for Halloween, I think? That's when I probably used it. So anyway, I could potentially, these ones are a bit messier. So I'm thinking that if I used something like this, I'm going to need to definitely consider the alcohol. So what we're going to do is, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with those as of yet. I'm going to kind of put those to the side, but I will say that I'm going to keep 2 trays in here to kind of show that I could, at the minimum, put in 2, just like I have the one for the blush. So I just wanted to show for you to know what's possible to put in this little mint tin or the tins in general. Like if I wanted to have this bigger one, this actually probably could store all of my makeup, all of the little containers. Let's see if they would all fit. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I mean, these containers, some of them are not makeup, some of them are other things, but these little containers right here, yeah, I mean, it's debatable. I mean, I love this little one so much. That's why I'm kind of drawn to it because it's so small, but it is nice to use something a little bit bigger because then I can put everything inside of it, possibly. So I wanted to show you, okay, first of all, let's just do the magnets. So I'm going to take this, and first of all, I want to make sure that this actually is indeed, some metal isn't magnetic. It isn't. So let's make sure that this is magnetic before I go to the effort of like even thinking that I'm going to use. It should just tell me if I did it on this side, right? Yeah, it's a very light magnet. It's not super strong. Would it be enough for that to hold those in place? Because that's not a very strong magnet. I mean, it seems like it's okay, but that doesn't have anything on it. I don't know. I hate using something if it's not going to work. Okay, should we just give it a try? I say we give it a try. These are self-adhesive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these empty ones and I'm going to cut off a square. Let's clean that. There's all this makeup on it because I used that for the pressing of the pink. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut, I'm going to cut a square, like a strip of these. Whoops, maybe a little bit smaller than what I need because you don't need it as exactly the same size. A little bit smaller is better. Okay, we're committed. We're committed to this. Okay, let's do that right there. That size seems good. Okay, so let's just put that on there like so. Okay, let's see if it sticks in place. Yeah, it holds it. There's my makeup. I went from this to that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I will tell you, I want to tell you something else too. One of the reasons why I was hesitant about ever looking at a different option for this makeup is because I knew I needed the mirror. But guess what? You can buy mirrors and you can put them in the tin. So I found some mirrors. These are little square mirrors and hopefully they'll fit. Look how cute that is. It's perfect. Okay, so I liked the idea of this being transparent because then I could see inside my makeup kit, but the mirror is just too amazing. So I'm going to use the mirror, and this has a self-adhesive on here as well. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we are going to Yeah, we're just gonna put it on first and then I'll take off the little plastic covering for it. So this is my adhesive. I'm so happy about this. This is so cute. Look at this cute kit I just built myself. Oh, okay. Okay, that's a terrible mirror. That's awful. I can't even see myself. Okay, that's like a mirror from like a junk store. That's not gonna work. So that's garbage. Okay, that's frustrating. Okay, so that mirror did not work. I should have taken off the thing first. That is horrible. Like you would not be able to put on, maybe, I don't know what was wrong with it. Why was it looking so weird in here? Okay, now it looks fine. Okay, that's strange. I don't understand that. I don't get that at all. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, what the heck's wrong with me? I had this on and then I'm all like thinking it won't work. And it worked just fine. That's strange. Yeah, it works just fine. That was weird. Okay, I'm gonna wipe this down. Okay, you got your little tiny makeup kit right here. So now what else are we gonna put in here? I'm going to say that I would have, I could have some makeup for nighttime. We'll put those in there. I'll just show where those will fit. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was my powder. So I use loose powder and it's in this giant jar, but I actually don't need that much powder. So what I was thinking is I have these little tiny containers right here and I bought these from a local essential oils company. And I just assumed that they would never, like, I'm gonna put it down here so this can see too. I just assumed that these were not available anywhere else. Like I only had to could buy from them. I don't know why I thought that. So I looked on Amazon and I found them. I could put my face powder in here. And then what I would do is I could just pour it right here and use it to put on and then close it back up. And if I were to maybe take my face powder and move it from that to this, then I could put that inside here. So we're going to do it. We are going to do it. I actually have a funnel that I'm going to use for this. I will be right back. And that's going to prevent us from getting all this stuff everywhere. And I love this idea because this right here, I never use this much. This is way too much for all time. So I'm just going to put this in here and we're going to see if it'll come down. Come on, little buddy. Oh, come on. Did it get stuck? I do have toothpicks. I'm going to grab some of these out. This will help me with this project. Okay. So we're going to kind of swirl this around in here, get it to go down into the bottom. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be able to get this whole thing in here. This is insane. Okay, this is a way better setup than the little container. These little jars are amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I could get more. I can get even more in here. I can get all of this fit. I thought it was only gonna be a portion of it. I could probably even get more out of my big container if I wanted it up to the brim. This is crazy. Okay, I've just learned something. Oh my gosh, I'm dying with how cool this is. What I have learned in the pursuit of tiny things is that we don't even understand how much can fit in something that's small. We just assume that nothing's gonna fit in there. That won't work for me. I need way more product than that. When in fact, it fit everything. And plus I could have added some to it. Yeah, I still have plenty of space. All of that fit in this little tiny jar. What in the, I'm just floored. Okay, so we're just going to, we're gonna label this so that I know what this is. That's my powder. My powder went from something that big to that. That is crazy. So that's easily gonna fit in this little container. Guess what else? I can either, now I can take my cream. I can take that cream and I can stick it right in there. Holy cow. All right. Alternatively, if I did not want to take cream and I wanted to take liquid foundation, I have two options for you. We can put the liquid foundation in this little tiny jar right here, this little bottle, or I'm going to show you something else I just found. These are the cutest things I think in the entire planet. Look at these. Look at these tiny dropper bottles. Look at these right here. And there's two different sizes. These are the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. Like they have this little, like it's a little dropper thing to get your product out. Are you kidding me? Like for foundation, that actually would be perfect. That would actually be perfect. I could put either size in here. Either size fits in this. Look at that. For foundation, if you want a liquid foundation, now we're gonna do an experiment because I know I'm gonna have people that say, there's no way that that's enough of anything. You are gonna be surprised. I'm gonna fill this up with water and then we are going to measure how many drops come out, okay? Let's start with the small one. Okay, this is filled to the brim with water. This teeny tiny little bottle. Look at that little bottle right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these cute little bowls and we are going to show, hopefully in both cameras, exactly how much water droplets are in here. So we're going to take this and we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got 7 drops, 7 little drops out of there. That's easily a day's worth. That's a ton of water. Oh my gosh. That's tons of foundation, you guys. That is probably more than one day. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get about 6 for sure drops in one syringe. So how many drops do you really need a foundation? Little drops like this. I don't think you need that much. I'm guessing that you need a lot less than you think. You can take your little pad that's like this size right here, you know, that little pad, your foundation pad, and you can just squirt it on there and then apply it on your face. I'm guessing you're not going to need that much. How many syringes do we have? 3 of those, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're getting towards the end. Okay, so the last little part's a little bit more tricky to get out, as it always is with things like this. So we still have some in here, but our little dropper isn't working so good. So that's probably, I bet that's like at least 2 or 3 days worth. So that's the tiny one. That's the tiny one. Look how much foundation you could put in that little tiny jar. Now, if you don't need a dropper, you don't have to buy the one with the dropper. You don't have to get the dropper. Now, I told you there's 2 different sizes. That was the tiny one, and this is the bigger one. Now, this isn't just for foundation. You could use this for so many things. Anything that requires a precise amount. Like say you have oils that you like to take with you, like maybe you like hair oil or something like that. This would be fantastic. These are seriously, when they came, I died. I was like, these are so freaking cute. They are so adorable. I just love tiny stuff. Like that is so cute to me. So like I said, you could use either size will fit inside this container for your foundation. So now you've got your foundation. If you wanted to use liquid, you could put that in there. That was the larger size. Is that what I did? Yeah, that was a larger size. If I wanted to do that small one, look at, I still have all that more space. So I could take, say I'm going to take this smaller one. I'm actually thinking, this is getting really powdery in here. So I'm actually going to try, I don't like how it's shedding all over the place. I'm thinking that this pink one in particular has got a problem. So I kind of want to take and do the alcohol on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, because I need to have some little drops of this. So I'm going to take my little tiny one and I'm going to put some of this alcohol in there and I'm going to use it for this project. So we're just going to fill this up right here. Okay, got some alcohol in there. And then put that lid back on so I don't spill it. I'm known for spilling things. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little droplet and so what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to, I probably should go look this up and make sure I'm doing this correctly, but it's supposed to actually make it set up inside the tray. So I didn't really need to do it to these other colors because I did a better job on those, but the pink one is a disaster. So I think what you do, that's so cute. I mean, this is honestly, I love these. I really, really, really love these. I could potentially, there's so many things I could use that for. Honestly, like that's quite a bit of product. And so even if you wanted to have rubbing alcohol with you on your trip for cleanliness, for cleaning things, like that's even a good idea. So, oh my gosh. Okay, well, I need to stop with how excited I'm getting because I'm acting like a fool. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we've got our little case with the cute mirror. I'm so happy about that. All right. Now I want to show you. So this is the eyeshadow is going to like kind of set up with that little bit of alcohol on it. I think you're supposed to press it when the alcohol, when it's still in there. Let's try that. Okay. I don't know. I'm probably not doing this right at all. So a lot of the pink is just not staying in there and it's irritating me like a lot because I don't want a bunch of powdered stuff all over my bag the whole time I'm going on this trip. This has to be perfect. And I don't want to be constantly wasting it by having to blow it off the inside. It just doesn't feel like it's compressed well enough. It seems like that helped a little bit. No, see, it still just bumped it and then it was all trashed again. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that one. That one's fine. Okay, we're gonna let these dry. All right, so one of the other things that I wanted to talk about. So we've shown you these little tiny jars. I showed you these jars. Now, this jar that I have my powder in, I actually, okay, so if you wanted to use tooth powder instead of toothpaste, I bought some tooth powder. This powder I need to have an update on it because apparently this is very abrasive. So I need to find something different. But if I wanted to use tooth powder, I could also put it in this, and that would be a lot of tooth powder. And then the way I would use it is I would just dump it in my hand and use it. So make sure my hands are clean. But we're not talking about toothpaste right now. I'm just kind of talking to you about like other things you could possibly use these little containers for. The next thing I wanted to talk about was mascara. Okay, a lot of people asked in my other video, well, you don't take any mascara. I actually don't use a lot of mascara. It's very rare that I put it on. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people, that's their main thing that they take with them. Now, I found this. Are you kidding me with that little tiny, look at that. Look at that little tiny mascara tube. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. So you actually can decant. So you can actually take your favorite mascara, you can put it in here, and then you could use this. Now, I don't see how that's going to be super awesome because that wand is so tiny. So I don't know if that really will work that great, but I wanted to show you that this is an option, that it's so small that there are products out there. Maybe there's a better one that has a better wand on it than this one, but I'm just showing that this is an option of how you can decrease the amount of mascara that you take. Now, you can still take your big thing of mascara. That's fine. Because you can have one, you can have one big thing in your bag. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying that if you want to try to, I did read up on decanting mascara, and it said to make sure that you're very careful because mascaras actually have like special preservatives in there. It makes it so that you don't get eye infections. You don't want to get an eye infection. So you need to make sure that if you decide to decant your mascara, you need to do some research and make sure that you're doing it properly and safely. You're cleaning everything properly. They also say that once you remove it from the main container, you have less time to use it. So, and then you probably couldn't reuse this unless you washed it really well. So I'm thinking that that's something that you're going to need to do some research on. Like I said, I don't use mascara, but if I did, this is a perfect size. So, and it would also fit inside that little container with your other things around it. It would totally fit. Yeah, it would totally fit. Yeah, you could put your little eyeshadows right there, and that's all of your makeup. Is that ridiculous? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So I will tell you though that I don't think that my mirror worked because I don't think I can close this tin with that freaking mirror on there. So that's unfortunate. So I may not be able to use that mirror like that. Maybe I just put it on the outside. I might have to just put it on the outside, which is not ideal, but it's better than nothing, right? So if we just did that on the outside, that would be fine too. So then when you're putting on your makeup, it's a little more awkward. Maybe this tin needs to be updated and I need to just use the bigger tin. Well, can I close it with that? Probably. Yeah, you can close the bigger tin with the mirror. So I might have to use the bigger tin with the mirror, unfortunately. But in that case, what's good about that is that then I can for sure fit everything I want. I can fit all my everything would fit inside of here for makeup. So this is possible if you don't care about having a mirror. You can still use this little guy just fine. It's so cute. I don't want to not use that. But I also want to have a mirror and I want to have it to be practical. Like I want to be able to use it like a compact. I don't want to have to flip it around. That's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. So, okay. So I'm now moved on to the bigger tin. So because of the mirror situation. All right. We've got these. They're drying. I can add more of this stuff. I'm definitely going to be taking this. I'm probably just going to stick with my cream foundation. So I'm going to have those things. Oh, I wanted to show you brushes. That was the other part of this kit. Well, and I also found these little tiny little foundation things. I have a round one that I feel like is also really good. It just depends on what shape you like better, but these little tiny ones are very cute. And they were also on Amazon. So that would be the size comparison. If I wanted something flat, that's just the difference in size. So I just have to decide what I want for that. But I wanted to show you these little brushes that I found. I'm super excited because one of my concerns was that I had this giant brush for my powder. I don't need this giant brush, but I didn't have anything smaller. So I found this little kit and it comes with all kinds of cute little things, probably longer handles than I would want, but any of these would be good for powder. Like this is a fluffier one. So I'm thinking that's probably even better, but any of these I think would work just fine for powder. Even this tiny one, even that little tiny one I think would be just fine, but the fluffier the better probably. So maybe I go from this to that. That's fine. Or any of these. Probably I wouldn't take the big purple one. That's too big. Let's kind of look at these and see what I would think. Can you see? I don't know. Probably maybe this fluffy one. I don't know. I kind of like that one. I think I'm going to use this one. So that'll fit in my container. There's my powder brush. Resolved, and I can use all these other ones for other things. I mean, I always can use some cute little brushes like that. That's a cute little set. Alternatively, if you need a lot of brushes for a lot of things, this is a really cute set. You could just take the whole thing if you don't want to try to minimalize as much as I am. So let's look at what we have. We've got our eyeshadow, which should be ready to go. We're going to put dark to light here. Dark, pink. All right, perfect. These seem, I think the alcohol was kind of necessary. I think it really set it up. So we're good. I'm gonna move those over a little bit so they'll be easier to access. There's my eyeshadows. I'm going to pretend like I have some other colors in here. I'm just gonna put those in right here. And then I'm gonna pretend that I have some blush and we're gonna put that right there. So you can kind of see what's possible in this little tin. Now this is a pretty standard size tin. You can find this. This is 1.41 ounce. So look for a tin about that size. Altoid tins are a bit larger. They're 1.75. So if you want something a little bit bigger, you could go over the Altoid tin. They do have Altoid minis, and so you could look for that, and that would be this size. But this, like I said, is from Trader Joe's. It's their ginger mints. See how all that fits in there? I'm trying to show, but the light is shining weird on here. So let's try to put an angle like that. Can you kind of see that? See how my little brush is down there? If I had magnets on those would be in place. I could potentially even put this over here. I don't have to. And actually, you know what? I don't have to use this big tray right here. I could use a square. Let's look at that as an option for the blush. It might be too big though. I think that's why I didn't choose that. I don't think that that's not going to work. We're going to stick with the small. So we'll stick with that. Okay. Now let's put in my other containers that I wanted to take. So I have my cream foundation. I wanted to take that. I wanted to take my powder. I'm going to slide that right up here. I wanted to take, let's pretend that I already did my lipstick because I brought my lipsticks down because I thought maybe I would experiment with some different ideas. Like that's two different colors. One's a light, one's a dark. But if I had another one of these containers and it was already done for lipstick, would it fit in here? Yes, and what I still need to have is I think that fits just fine. It's a little bit tight, but I could have just put this right on top. Yeah, I could put this right on top, I think. Yeah, there we go. That's how it would fit. It's just my brushes would just go right on top like that. And then I would get another eyeshadow brush to put inside. So let's just pretend that I'm just going to use one of these ones. I actually use one of those little pads, like the disposable kind. I like those better for eyeshadow. But I don't have one with me right here. So we're just going to put this in. Actually, I am going to you know what? This is good for eyebrows and stuff. This is a cute little brush. And then let's just grab one of these little ones, a small one. And we'll just show that all, like 3 brushes could fit inside of here. 3 brushes fit in there perfectly. And I still have room to spare that I could take my little pad right here and I could put it right on top. Done. Done. That right there is an entire makeup kit. I do not have the mascara. Let's pretend that I am a mascara wearer and I just put that right there. Well, that will not close. Will it now? It will not. So I would have to rearrange. If I was going to take mascara, then I would just rearrange how I was going to put this in here and make it work. Because if these brushes aren't in here, if I took less brushes, so if I was a mascara wearer, I would alter this around. I would just move stuff around. I know it's fittable. Yeah, it's fittable. That's for sure. So now we're just going to put these things in like this. And if you can put the brush on the little pad on top, yeah, it fits. It pops because of the pad. So if I don't have the pad in there, everything fits perfectly. So maybe you don't want the pad in there anyway, because maybe it's just going to get everything all over the place. You could put the pad separately. Alternatively, I wonder if one of these little guys would fit down inside more in this little spot right here. It could. So can you see that? We've got the mirror and we've got 3 brushes, mascara, my powder, my lipstick, my cream foundation, and then underneath all of these brushes, I have my eyeshadow. I'll take these out so you can see. Underneath those, I have 5 things of eyeshadow and blush. It's ridiculous in this little tin. So this tin is actually exactly what I'm going to take. Like I said, I don't use the mascara, but I'm just showing you what you can do and what you can fit inside of here just fine. Actually, you know what? I think it'll work. It'll work. Yeah, it just pops a little bit with that little foam thing in there. But that's it. That is my entire makeup kit. I went and now I don't have anything that's left out. I've eliminated this powder. I've eliminated from my bag. So my regular bag is now going to have, we're gonna show you what's gonna fit now inside of here. I'm actually going to take out the mascara for just right now because I want to show you how it works. And I want it to stay closed, and the mascara thing is making it pop open. So I'm going to show you now the finished product with this smaller system. I'm actually going to decrease even more. So what we have here is we have my makeup. We have my dental floss. Now, I was advised that for the amount of days that I'll go, I can just measure off exactly what I need and put that in a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to do that. So let's just imagine that I've done that, but I haven't done it yet. So we're going to put this in. So I'm not leaving that out. We have my conditioner. This is my body wash. And I didn't even have that in the bag last time. I have my razor. I have my, did I say conditioner? I did say conditioner. I have my shampoo. I have my little face creams right here. Everything fits perfectly. Okay, so what? Oh, actually, I don't have my toothpaste and my lotion. So we're going to slide those in here. Those will just go down to the bottom. That's no problem. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe I did this. Okay, so guess what we can do? The toothbrush now can live inside the bag. It'll now fit inside. We don't have to have it on the outside. Look at that. Everything's in. Everything's in. It's perfect. It's the dreamiest. It's the dreamiest bag ever. So before it was pretty stuffed and I wasn't able to fit my toothbrush in, and my makeup was ridiculous. I didn't even have as much of this makeup in here. Remember, I didn't have like the extra that I have. Like, what do I have in here now? I have 2 extra eyeshadows and I have a powder. I mean, not a powder, a blush. I have those things. I did not, I mean, if I wanted to just throw this in, I could just throw this in on its own. What are some other things that I put inside there? Anyway, yeah, I mean, guys, and now when I want to do my makeup, I just literally pull out that little tin and I've got everything in one place. I don't have to dig for anything. It's all ready to go. That's it. Let me show you a couple of other things that I purchased that I think are kind of fun. So this right here, this was recommended by a lot of people. They said, look at getting the little refillable lip gloss, like tubes. And I was like, what? So this is a tiniest little lip gloss tube right here. So I actually have a lip gloss that I really like, and I like to keep it in my purse, but it's way big. Let me show you what it looks like. So it's this big right here, but I know that I can get, and this is plenty for me. I don't need this big tube. I've used this for multiple trips and I've never used it up. I use it all the time. So what I could do is I could take this thing, I could squeeze it into this one, and then there are the little things for the top that goes on top. So it turns it into the lip balm thing, right? These ones are a little bit different. Yeah, they have them right here. So it turns it into this. When you're done filling it up, you just take this little part. My gosh, I'm like Butterfingers. You take this little part right here, the part that goes on your lips, and you just push it into place, and now it's set up. It's ready to go. So I could decant this into this small one and then take this with me in my purse. Because I just like to have lip gloss with me in my everyday bag. Like that's not going to be something like lipstick is something different that, you know, like I'm saying, I want to put this into one of those little containers and I'm going to experiment with that maybe in another video. We could actually do a full video on lipsticks and that's what maybe I'm going to do next. But I'm going to show how I'm going to put this inside this little container and then I'll figure out the method for putting the two lipsticks next to each other in the little jar and then the little brush that I would use for it. So anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to show you that. I thought this one was really fun and something that I would definitely like take advantage of. It's just nice to be able to take larger products and put them into something that's smaller. So, and I know people even have the ability to make their own lip glosses. So if you have like instructions on how to do that, or if you personally do it, let me know. I would be very interested in learning how to do that. So anyway, okay, we're going to call it quits. My place is a disaster. I've got to clean up this entire counter and I've got to go get some work done. So in the meantime, I just wanted to thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I hope that you learned something. I hope you had a lot of fun. I know I did. I want to actually, you know what I want to do? I'm going to pull this out right now because I want to see the condition. I want to see the condition of this makeup after it's been just kind of tossed in here. How did it fare? Perfect. Perfect. Those eyeshadows they're not even touched. I'm blown away. I'm so happy with this. So happy with this. This is my makeup. My entire makeup kit. Everything. All in one little container of ginger mints. Anyway, okay, so enough of that. I'm sorry, I keep on going back because I'm just in love with it. So thank you so much for joining me on this and following this whole journey. And we're going to have, if you have even more suggestions, please give them. You know, I'm always up for all the ideas. I love them. It improves my life. Like I said, I'm going on this big trip around the world and this is going with me. And I'm so excited that I can take all the things I love. I can take all of my makeup and I can make myself look cute and I can have a fun time and not sacrifice anything. And I'm not even have to sacrifice anything on my back either. It's just so wonderful. I absolutely am so excited about it. So thank you for all of your tips. Thank you for your help. And I hope that this is helpful for you. So anyway, I'll see you on the next video and hopefully on a future travel talk Tuesday or Thursday. Like I said, I'm still deciding, but I will keep you posted. Just watch for something in the post. Like there's a section of everybody's channel that's for like posting like written content. So I will post it there. So just kind of, and if you subscribe to my channel and you click on the notification button, it's going to notify you when I post anything. So then you'll be notified when that's going to be. And it'll be so fun. It's gonna be like a little travel party. So anyway, we'll talk to you soon and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.